Have you ever wondered how many days per week you need to homeschool? In this video, I'll share the answer. Please hit like and subscribe to this channel so that you'll get notified whenever a new video is released. So a lot of new homeschool families wonder how many days per week they need to homeschool. And there are a few different things to consider when you're answering that question. The first and most important thing whenever you're trying to figure out your homeschool schedule is to check on the legal requirements that apply to you. If you're in the United States, you can find out your state's specific requirements for residents of that state through the HSLDA website, and I'll put a link to that in the description of this video. And by clicking on, they have a map, and when you click on your state on the map, you can quickly find out what the rules are for your state. Most states do not mandate a specific number of days per week that you homeschool, but it's pretty common in a lot of states that they require a certain number of days of instruction per year, or sometimes a certain number of hours, either per day or per year. And so it's really important to know the specific rules that are going to apply to your family. You also want to make sure that you're keeping track of how many days or hours you homeschool if you have a legal requirement that you need to hit. Although honestly, we don't have a legal requirement in my state, and I still keep track because I want to make sure that my kids are getting enough days. And so we keep track of days just to make sure that we're learning enough and that I'm teaching them enough. It's a way of reassuring myself about that. So I made a tracker that I use to keep track of the number of days that we homeschool. And it's just a sheet where we mark off each day that we do homeschool lessons. And so I'll put a link to that download that you can get for free in the description of the video as well. So it's important to know what your legal requirements are. And then beyond that, homeschooling gives a lot of flexibility in terms of when and how exactly to homeschool. And so it is common for homeschool families either to homeschool 5 days a week, or sometimes to homeschool 4 days a week, or sometimes to do sort of a variety depending on the season of the year. There are a lot of families that really like to just homeschool 5 days a week and homeschool for however many weeks and then be done with their year. And so that is definitely an option that is out there for you. Another option that a lot of families enjoy is homeschooling for 4 days a week. And absolutely, you can homeschool for 4 days a week instead of 5. If you choose to do this, you'll just need to add a few extra weeks to your homeschool year in order to get the same amount of days of homeschool as somebody who was homeschooling 5 days a week. So if your state requires 180 days of homeschool per year, for example, which is a fairly common requirement, then this would work out to either 36 5-day weeks or 45 4-day weeks. So either way, it works. You just need to make sure that you're adding up to the right number of days. A third option that you can do is sort of a flexible homeschool schedule where you might homeschool 5 days a week sometimes and 4 days a week other times and maybe less other times. And this is what my family does. My husband's work schedule is pretty seasonal, so he works more during the months of January through April and a lot less over the summer. And so we try to follow that with our homeschool schedule. So we might do 4-day weeks during the season when he is not working as much, which would be like May, June, and then a little bit in the beginning of the school year in August and September. And then we'll do 5-day weeks during the winter. And then sometimes during the season when he works on Saturdays, we actually do 6-day weeks. And that helps us to be able to do those 4-day weeks at the other times and still take our summers kind of off. We also do occasional homeschool days during the summer. And so I will count those as part of the school year as well. And that gives us a little bit more flexibility to take a day off here and there when we feel like we need to. So that's another reason why I keep track on the calendar, because it helps me make sure that I know exactly how many days we've done, even though our schedule is flexible. So hopefully this was helpful and gave you something to think about. If you enjoyed this video, please hit like and subscribe to the channel. And please share in the comments, how many days a week do you homeschool?